Well, it's official. Tayven Jackson from Indiana football is entering the transfer portal. What in the world are the Hoosiers going to do?
You are Locked On Hoosiers, your daily podcast on the Indiana Hoosiers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome into this, the Locked On Hoosiers podcast. I'm your man, Jacob Goins. I appreciate you being here, making this your first listen or your first watch each and every day. We are part of the Locked On Podcast Network, which is your team every day. Appreciate you being here on this bonus episode over the weekend. Also, shout out to everybody who tuned into the live post-cast show with the Hoosier squad last night. No, it was a depressing game, and the result wasn't what we wanted, but appreciate everybody being a part of that. And if you missed it, you can check it out on our live section on the Locked On Hoosiers YouTube channel. This show is free and available to you Monday through Friday, and bonus episodes just like this one when there's breaking news. As Tayven Jackson, the presumed possible starter next year for Indiana football at the quarterback position, has officially signed the papers and has entered the transfer portal. What does it look like moving forward? What does Indiana do, and what does this mean? How big of a loss is this? It's a big loss, a really, really big loss, because how many quarterback transfers have we talked about? How many quarterback different options have we talked about in the portal over these last couple of weeks? A ton, right? We're approaching 10 different names, a dozen different names that you and I have talked about. And I've continued to say it is crucial for Indiana to go and get a quarterback, possibly even two. And now Indiana is in a terrible spot. We are in big, big trouble. Tayven Jackson, after his year at Tennessee, came to Indiana, was the guy for a while. Then Curtis Rourke shows up. And I think we saw Tayven Jackson grow up, right? He matured. He got more comfortable. He learned a new system. He stepped in when we needed him and played really, really well. And a lot of people, a lot of you Indiana fans thought that he was going to be the starter next year and kept asking, what about Tayven? What about Tayven? Why are we talking transfers if we have Tayven? Well, here you go. After a season where he threw it just 37 times, completed 62% of his passes for 349 yards, 4 touchdowns, and just the 1 interception, Tayven Jackson is in the transfer portal. And here's the bigger issue. Right? You start looking around the Indiana quarterback room, or I don't know, lack thereof, right? You start looking at what the room has. I mean, there's nothing there. There's nothing there for Indiana. Curtis Rourke gone, Tayven Jackson gone. And sure, you've got Tyler Cherry there. You're bringing nobody in through the 2025 class. Lots of receivers. You lose a couple, bring some back, and some in the high school ranks. But folks, Indiana's in trouble. This is bad news for us. And there's going to be a lot of questions on, well, why did he do it? Why is Tayven Jackson leaving? What does he know that we don't? I'm not going to speculate on any of that until we get some further information. This is a breaking news, just instant reaction sort of episode here. And all I know is Indiana better go get a quarterback, several quarterbacks, and you better do it very, very quickly. Because now that the season is over, right, that concern is over. You no longer have to worry about the playoff. You no longer have to worry about games. You have a limited time in the transfer portal to fill all your other gaps that we still need to fill. How about the offensive and defensive lines after the game we saw against Notre Dame? But now you've got to go get a starting quarterback, a backup quarterback, even a third possible quarterback. Like, this is not good. And there is a little bright side, I guess. Good news for the Hoosiers here is I think there are some quarterbacks who have not entered yet that we could go after. I think you ramp it up on the Penn State kid. You still have Matthew Sluka out there, the UNLV NIL story that's out there. And again, I still think there are some names in the portal, or apologies, names in the playoff that have not entered the portal just yet. But a live breaking news reaction, Tayven Jackson, a presumed starter for Indiana at the quarterback spot, has entered the transfer portal. What does Indiana do now? How does this affect the offense and Curt Cignetti moving forward? We'll talk about it coming up next on a bonus episode right here on Locked on Hoosiers. Today's bonus episode of Locked on Hoosiers is brought to you by Game Time. You know by now, Game Time is my go-to ticketing app for everything I need. Sports, music, comedy, theater, you name it, and they've got it. And the feature they want you to know about, the one that you need to know about, is called Game Time Picks. It filters out the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. You pair that with their seats from your view, a panel or a view from your seat. How about that? Where you can click on any seat, you can see the view 360 degrees around, and there's no surprises. That way you know exactly what you're going to see when you show up. And the best price guarantee or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time Picks. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONCOLLEGE. That's Locked On College for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. Today's bonus episode of Locked on Hoosiers is brought to you by Rocket Money. Look, do you have subscriptions that you have maybe forgotten about that just kind of sneak up on you? Or maybe I'm just going to go ahead and tell you there probably are some subscriptions that you have signed up and forgotten about. Happened to me. I've had several that I didn't even realize I was still paying for. And Rocket Money made it so easy to track them all down. It's like having a personal assistant for your finances. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps you lower your bills so you can grow your savings. It brings everything together all in one place. Whether it's subscriptions, your spending habits, or even the goals you want to hit coming into 2025, Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's premium features. For me, the best feature is a subscription tracker. You sign up, it will cancel any services that you don't want that you didn't even know you were paying for. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions and reach your financial goals faster with Rocket Money. Go to rocketmoney.com/locked on today. That's rocketmoney.com/locked on. rocketmoney.com/locked on. All right, thank you so much for being here back here on this bonus episode of Locked on Hoosiers. If it sounds a little different, if it looks a little different, that's because I'm not at the home setup, right? We're traveling for the holidays, seeing family and things. And when I got the heads up on the news, I hopped on immediately, got everything together, and wanted to record something and just have an immediate reaction because this is huge news. Tayven Jackson, Indiana's backup quarterback this season, a possible starter for next season, has officially entered the transfer portal. I got people blowing me up and texting me asking, what is going on? Why is he leaving? Where is he going? What does he know? And man, there's a lot to get to here. And this is going to be a developing story for several days, possibly several weeks. And so, again, appreciate you being here on this bonus episode. Hey, we just surpassed 4,000 subscribers on the Locked on Hoosiers YouTube channel. So thank you so much for that. I was asking to do that before the new year, and you all made that possible. So thank you so much. And for anybody listening on audio, thank you so much for your support as well. Where does Indiana go from here? Is this a bad look for Curt Cignetti and the Hoosiers the day after the playoff ends, the day after your season is over? It's absolutely a bad look, especially when it's a quarterback that leaves really kind of shockingly. And I'll just go ahead and say this will not be the only one. You're going to see a lot of guys leave this Indiana team. You're going to have a lot of graduates, yes, but you're going to see a lot of transfers out as well. Why? Because that's the new era of college football. That's just where we are in today's game. I mean, it sucks. Yeah, it's terrible, but they're going to go and try to find other opportunities. And my initial question is not even why Tayven's transferring. It's where's he going to go? Where are you going to go? Where are you going to play? What's your goal here? I mean, you had a legitimate quarterback battle, possibly your job to lose, and yet you dip out of Bloomington and try to go play somewhere else. I don't know, man. I don't know if somebody's in his ear. I don't know if he's not getting the money that he wants. I don't know if there's some discourse on the back end. Couldn't tell you. We're going to do a lot more investigating and try to get some more information here. But just a raw reaction, man, Indiana's got to find a replacement and find one fast. And so I want you to tell me who you think the Hoosiers should go after. I've dropped a couple of names already. There's still some quarterbacks in the portal as we speak. And I'm just telling you, hang on. There might be some more names that aren't in there yet that very well could be. Take Tayven Jackson, for example. He was a quarterback on a playoff team that was not in the portal yet. And here we are, the day after their game is over, their season is over, Tayven Jackson's in the portal. I think there could be others just like that on other teams competing right now in the college football playoff. But Indiana's got to go find one because you no longer have a starting quarterback, not even a starting caliber quarterback on this roster. And on top of all the other portal issues you got to solve. Offensive line, defensive line, secondary, linebacker, more running backs, more receivers. I mean, you need every position. You've got to go get the Jimmies and Joes because Notre Dame exposed you in that game on Friday night. And Curt Cignetti and his coaching staff have their work cut out for them. All right, that's going to do it for this bonus episode of Locked On Hoosiers. Thank you again so much for being here. Apologies if it looks and sounds a little bit different. We're on the road for the next week and a half or so, but we're going to be here as much as we can. Be sure that you like this video on YouTube. Comment your thoughts down below. Tayven Jackson's gone. Who do the Hoosiers go after now? Let me know there. Be sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And for all my audio listeners, be sure that you follow us and subscribe on your platforms there as well. All right, we are back on Monday for a normal episode, unless there's more breaking news we need to talk about. So be sure you have those notifications turned on. Okay, Hoosier fans, until then, stay safe. And I'll talk to you later.